Lelo usiku sindina gone, lelo kutulu na utaka zilanga, analikundiuza mau, sinzaiwa, analikundiuza mau, sinzaiwa, belani mau mweka zilanga, analikundiuza, belani mau mweka zilanga kutulu, analikundiuza, belani mau, analikundiuza, belani mau, analikundiuza. Pero muela mamá muriendo la vida en vino kaya wamalala kaya mana meojani osangana banganda masikonse ndo yambana narema unifuna mwezashika papata uninama uninyengerera ngalika mwana katonto umalero leo naipa masikonse munishema musina mosi ukutilimbila nikaubone kwenu yayolemela katika kota yayolemela neonaluza Siama yunjiga pananda kanisagara maraso neunu kumkali dindalama ano imweo wanufuna alume wangu Ushenkoni umweo masikuano nonyengesera wakukwa sosiwika alume wangu leo nikasoa ukanikumbuke Zaniso Kondi Kolimbiane Kondi Sana pagatia Wachikondi Utwala mtima wake onse Amana kazi wake Chikondi Kolimbiane Chikondi Sana pagatia Wachikondi Utwala mtima wake onse Kwa mwanarume wake Chikoko kile Tiende, 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 mama, tiende, tiende, mama, tiende, 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 mama, tiende, tiende, mama, tiende, 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 mama, tiende, tiende, mama, tiende. Bashikanganje wekitonjishire tishika uje mwalimu pavose pamona vangu loko tavasonga nokuvetikila pano panata lero tavampelo mutishina gula kanono umangaisa kumanda wamkwanje vati vaisakora mesi utwale kuvapande samba uminaongaisa ukushitukaki wamkwati unamuvuka unaira kamwali Bashitandandele kondishika uje mwalimu pavose pamona vangu loko tavasunga nokuvetikila pano palanda lero tavampelo mutishina gula kanono umangaisa kumanda wamkwanje vati amisakora mesi utwale kuvapande samba uminaongaisa ukushitukaki wamkwati unamuvuka unaira kamwali
Atishani.
Atishani bane.
Awe tuishe bwino.
I think it's program tuka tapo kubika pa 3 p.m.
Amabola ka.
Babola abantu shani.
Amabola.
But bola idi mailo. Real games are tomorrow.
Abantu bachila tamba Mbanzi City.
Yeah, that's what they do, sir.
Awina.
Yeah.
Mailo mukalusa mailo kwa Chelsea.
If we
Yeah. Mukalusa.
Chelsea. When was Chelsea? When did Chelsea win? When was the last time it won?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. When you draw with the bottom team, you think you can beat Chelsea?
No. Yeah, the games are different. You go in Namkwatako strategy up, sana, according to the team. And according to Chelsea, no. Chelsea is not it's not on our level. Chelsea was Chelsea maybe 2 seasons ago, I think. 2 seasons.
Okay.
Not today, buddy.
Okay.
Not today, buddy. Eh? Hmm? Yeah. So anyway, Master Wino quiz, huh? Master Wino quiz, huh?
Yes,
So
I checked in. Just check again.
you did what?
I was just checking. I came in. There was nobody there. But then I went away. Then I've come back again.
Oh, did you? No, yeah, I've been here all this time.
No, I came in 2 minutes before the hour.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was just doing something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we can start the program. Start the program. So, Avina Zambia, welcome to Redtagmedia. And my name is Chanda Chilufya, broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. And good evening, Zambia. Good evening, the world. Good evening, everywhere you are, depending on your time and your location. Of course, um, we have so many major topics that we need to deal in, and seeing what's going on right now. Uh, First thing I think we need to tackle is, the inflation rate, dropping down to 7.5 from 22% to 7.5. I think people need to really grasp or understand the impact and the benefits that's going to happen. Why that has happened, and just to understand, like, why all of a sudden, why has it dropped? First of all, that's a big question. Obviously, as Zambians, we ask why has it dropped from 7.5 to 20, 22, from 22% to 7.5. So, what can we talk about in terms of the benefits? Are we seeing our people, getting that? Has it trickled down already? Are we seeing any changes in terms of pricing of commodities, basic needs, and stuff like that? I don't know, but have you seen that statistics by Zamstat where they say that it's dropped from 22 to 7.5%?
The statistics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw I read in one of the papers. Yeah, the inflation rate has come down. Mm, it's basically our major product, copper, is doing great right now. So I think it's $18,000 per metric ton or something like that, which is very, very good. And also the policies that our government is putting in place, controlling expenditure and all that type of thing. So it's a good thing. But the only thing that might now have a little effect on our progress is this war that has just started. Definitely, this is going to have a big, big impact on our economy.
Which one are you talking
The
about?
only, there's the war that just started between Iran and Israel, and
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
over that whatever Hamut, whatever they call that strip, Hamut strip, whatever, which is used to export most of the, which is used for export of most of the oil in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So already you can see that oil prices by tomorrow they will be so high, and that can have an effect on our country. Like Zambia, that depends on imports of oil and gas. So this is gonna be not good for us. But I hope it's not taking too long. It will not take too long. It was to be resolved. But as of now, right now, I think the price of oil has tripled already. So it's not good for the economies like ours that depend on
Right,
oil.
right on the oil thing, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How many African countries produce oil or have oil how many in Africa? How many?
There are many, but it depends on the quality of the oil you're talking about. There are three types of oils.
Mm.
There are countries that have oil, but not very, to process it, it takes too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But the cleanest one we have is Nigeria. That's the one which is easily processed, and that's the one that the world imports from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But Angola has oil. Zambia, there's a bit of oil, but to process it, it doesn't make any economic sense
Mm.
to get it and then process it because it would be too expensive to go through the process of processing it. So yeah, the easier there are three types. I think they I don't know how many types, but there's the one that is cleanest is the one coming from Nigeria, and that's the
Okay.
one that is easier to process, and that's the one the world buys from Nigeria.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing. because most of
so why do we need the Middle East for the oil if
that's
there's
the
oil
part.
in Nigeria?
Exactly. It's lack of cooperation as a continent, and Nigeria as well. It's supposed to be serving its own neighbors, its own Africans, other than being selfish, trying to get profits out of the. Yeah, it's Africa. Africa, we are selfish countries. We don't look at ourselves as one continent. We don't. Otherwise, yes, Nigeria would have been. Nigeria and Libya, they have very good amount of oil, but I think Libya's resources now they were destroyed during that when they took over Gaddafi.
What about Angola?
Angola they have, but it's not very good. It's very expensive to process. So the Angola one,
Mm.
we are
Okay.
the refinery we have built in Zambia. It cannot process Angola oil. It can't. Oil
But
refinery we
the
have.
refinery that's being built, a combination of Zambia and Angola government are building a new refinery actually.
Probably that's the one that
In,
will be able to process Angola oil.
in Rwanda,
Yeah.
and I was seeing Dr. Musha went there to visit
Mhm.
the place. So what next? Because I think with the way the language is going on around. Oh, welcome back, Kazia. Bagazia just joined us.
Oh, but PS.
Right, Saba PS.
Okay. Now it's
Tani
our me.
ba PS.
awo mulisani batani n'abadani
I have to fear jazz man. To fear we
hotel.
Jazz. So you've caught us where we're just discussing. We're just trying to bring out our topics, and the first thing we're talking about is, of course, the energy sector, and looking at the way things are moving. With the world economies and stuff like that. In fact, we're talking about the rate of inflation, which has dropped from 22% to 7% in just 1 month. Now, I don't know if this has ever happened before in a month, dropping that large scale from 22 to 7%.
I
And
don't.
what
I
are
don't.
the
I don't think it was over a month. I think it's over a long period of time. I think they started tracking it some.
oh,
I think
okay.
yeah, it's not over a month. No, not one over a month. No, it's over a period. I don't know. Wakazia, have you followed the inflation rate in Zambia? Is gone.
Oh, it disappeared.
I have. Yeah, it's a good it's a good thing when inflation drops, but way more importantly when the inflation drops, marries with the cost of things and the cost of living getting much better. So that is what I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I know for a fact it's a good thing. Whether but the period that it has dropped is when the current government has been in place, which is the UPND. So that needs to be echoed and amplified because there's no way these things can happen accidentally. There's certain measures that have been happening behind the scenes where now we're seeing all these things trickling down now, inflation rate going down. Now, like we'll be talking about the copper and we'll be talking about exports and imports. Right now, copper, like you said, Dr. Danny, is ranging 18,000, $18,000 per ton. Just was it just 2 years ago? It was like maybe like 7,000, 8,000,
Yeah.
a ton.
Yeah.
So it means now we're making double the money. Now, if we're making double the money, where's the money going?
Mhm.
So the money with this current government, the way it's happening is, valet wale ndalama shira shaka bati. twashitana nikane twashitishe umukuwa, and then we start taking it down to the communities. Because look, if you look at the feeding program, you look at the investment policies in terms of RIH, they go into skills training programs, and even just children going to school for free. So these are the benefits. Not if you're going to send a masaka matambo kusunga munganda awe bakazia. What do you think about this issue of right now we're saying the we're testing the dollar right now. The dollar kwacha ratio is like, at one point, I think back in the days, I believe my uncle was telling me, one time it was a pound to a kwacha. Back in the day, he used to say like 1 pound was equal to a kwacha back in the day. So are we going to reach it at that level where a dollar is equal to a kwacha?
No, that can never happen.
I do not think that we can ever reach that, because I think we are not still consumers, we are not producers. So it's quite a bit of a challenge around that.
Okay.
The thing is, these are just indicators of something going on, right? When you see the kwacha gaining strength against the dollar, you see international financial companies, huge financial companies like JP Morgan coming to Zambia and talking behind doors with the president. It means Zambia has been recognized as one of the potential investment destination by big boys, So things are going right now. And as Amos Chanda said the other day, he said, I think as UPND, we need to, the communication, spreading of the news, we need to do better. We're not good at it right now. We are not spreading the good news to the people. People need to know the good stuff going on.
Yeah.
I didn't know that since church came in power, we have about 18 products. Zambia started exporting 18 new products, which were not there before UPND government came in power. We are exporters of 18. Okay. Yeah. So our economy is growing. It's growing, and these are things that needs to be told to the people. Very few people know about that. They know that we're exporting fertilizer, we're exporting batteries, we're exporting copper cables and stuff like that, and all that. So it's something good, but as Wachanda said, we hope this will soon be reflected by the lowering of the cost of living, or better still, the increase in the earnings of the people. If you don't lower the cost but give them more money, it still has the same effect, so that people can feel the benefits of having a thriving economy. Thank you.
Yep, that's fantastic. So, so now that you've said that, of course, like you're saying, like people need to start feeling it. It needs to trickle down, and we're already seeing it. I was just watching on TV, and most of companies actually in Zambia, those exporting products, have reduced their products in terms of all these household goods and consumables. They've reduced them. So most Zambians now, if they're buying, for example, sugar tea, 5 kwacha, maybe it's now 4 kwacha ngwe. See? So the products are reducing now, and this is a serious and a well studied, and something that people can actually go and see for themselves, because the industries that are producing these products sat down and say, look, let's reduce it a little bit. Now, is it going to hurt them? Well, because maybe in terms of because of the dollar kwacha ratio, okay, and some people were trying to explain it in terms of like if somebody's budgeted to buy a car in Dubai for $20,000, okay, at the rate of maybe say $18, and then all of a sudden it's dropped down to 15, for example. So it means somebody's going to buy it at a cheaper rate. So when you're importing all these products in the country, they're going to come in cheaper because the rate has gone down. You don't have to spend that a lot of money. You don't have to convert your Zambian kwacha to that high, dollar value and convert it into a lower level. Now, these are the questions that actually conversations that are being discussed in a Pan-African system where people are saying like, can we just come up with our own currency as Africans? Like what Gaddafi was trying to do. Can we just have with our own currency where we can just trade as Africans? We got our own system and trade among ourselves. Now, it's going towards that because I'm seeing all these stuff that's happening, with Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe rejecting the U.S. offer of aid that is attached to certain things that it doesn't align to ourselves. For example, Zambia was going to be given like $1 billion, if you understand. Zambia was going to be given $1 billion United States dollars, but what were the attachments to that money? So if we can reject $1 billion, where are we? Vakazia, I don't know. Vakazia, you've been too quiet.
I'm listening.
Because all these things have been happening, Vakazia, and we need to analyze them.
But the PS4 Minister of Health said that there is no official statement about the refusal of $1 billion. So what is the status? There is an official statement that has come out.
What I know is the government has refused.
Yeah, but the question is that the PS said that is fake news. We need to wait for the official statement. Now, when you say what you know, what is your source?
No. What I think what they discounted was the fact that it was going to be related to minerals. No, that's not. Because they are saying that the reason why the government of Zambia is rejected is because the United States government attached minerals to that equation. Okay, that's what they didn't want. They said no. That's
but
not
they clarified that it is tied to health.
Yeah. Oh yes.
If they
It was
clarified
even on TV. It was even on TV. What they wanted to get is data from us, but what are they going to use that data for? And knowing the United States with the Donald Trump, who knows? But that's a discussion of another day. But just the fact,
you see, it's the first time I think I know that there's a very big kind of endorsement that if the government indeed have declined that selling of that data, that would be a great achievement. And I think anyone who really thinks about our country and the interest of it must be able to say that's something that is good. For me, I personally, other people I don't know, but for me, I think if someone wants to get the information in the way it was being proposed and government says no, it's a good thing that government has done.
Dr. Danny.
Yeah. It was It was gonna be a medical experiment, basically. They give you money, they give you the drugs, and they see the effect of that drug on the population of Zambia. That's what they wanted. You were gonna be used as a guinea pig for a new drug. No, that was not really a proper. If you want to give me medical help or you want to give me $1 billion worth of money for, let me tell you what I need. Okay, I need TB medication, I need malaria medication, I need this. You don't say, okay, I'm going to give you this drug worth $2 billion, and when you use it, I want you to get data from the people that are going to use it, how long they live, whether they're going to live for 2 years, 3 years before they die. That's the data I want. That's being a guinea pig of that drug. It's common sense. It's the money wasn't coming to say, oh, here's the money, use it in your health sector. No, it was the way us scientists do. You get a drug, you inject in a rat, and wait and see the effect of that drug in the rat while you're getting the data. Oh, he lived for 2 days, then he died. Oh, he developed cancer. We did this. That is the type of experiment they wanted to use that money for. So we are not guinea pigs. I know they have done that before in Africa. Remember those days, the maize, yellow maize stuff, when we were starving, they wanted to bring this type of maize for us to grind and eat. I think the Minister of Agriculture at that time was what? Is it Sikatana or whatever? One of the Lozi man.
Skatana, yes.
He refused.
Mundia Skatan.
Yes, he refused. He said, no, if you want to give us maize, give us money, we go and buy maize where we want it. I know we are starving, but we're not going to have this type of experiment on us. So they are very good at doing that. These developed countries, they say, oh, we're giving you this drug, use it, and then let's see the results. So if you guys die, they don't use it in America. So that's not that's not $1 billion cash. That's what people think. They think, oh, you have turned down $1 billion cash, whatever, $2 billion cash. It wasn't that way. They say the drugs we're gonna give you are worth $2 billion, and use them and get data of the people who are using them. Are they developing a rash? Are they developing a cold? Are they losing their hair? Or are they doing this? Who accepts such a thing? No. So it was a good thing. It was a good thing. So that's what the data they wanted. They wanted to see the effect of that drug on the people. And they valued that drug as worth $2 billion. Okay? Take cash. But if
It was worth of drug.
Yes. Worth $2 billion worth of drugs. Use them on your people. But for every person you get data, his age, his height, his weight, is he losing weight? Is he doing this? That's what they wanted. Every president would have said no.
Right. Oh my God.
We're experiments. They have done that before, you know. Do you know the syphilis? When syphilis in those days, the syphilis was used, drug was used to experiment on blacks worldwide. Before, yeah. They were going prisons, they were going to Africa, they were using that. That's the same experiments they were doing. They will give you a drug, they see whether syphilis is getting worse or not. They were recording. Okay, so it's not a good thing. If they came with a $2 billion cash and said pump it in your health sector, that's good help. But to come with $2 billion worth of drugs, use them and see the effect of the people you're going to be using it. That's definitely a scientific experiment. No. All right.
Wow.
So don't think that they came with a bag of money. No, they came with tons and tons of new drug.
And I believe even the HIV and all that AIDS stuff, you know, they experimented on us first.
Yeah. So it's time we start saying no to this type of experiments. I know we are poor, but let's die poor.
I know we're poor, but we're not that poor or stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that's a good insight, Dr. Danny. So But unless Vakazia has got something else to add on this one.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add on that
Because
one.
being in government and all that stuff, I'm sure you know how these grants come in.
Well, the thing is that,
Sometimes.
you see, the thing is that grants and all these donor support always comes with their conditions. I was very happy when I heard the Botswanan president saying, "I've stopped capacity building." Because one of the worst things that has happened to Zambia and other African countries is capacity building. You find everyone every other time people just go to be capacity built on things that they know. You find a person has a master's degree, then the one who wants to do a capacity building, to do capacity building on him, is a bachelor's degree holder. Or a person has a PhD, then you send someone with a master's to go and the capacity build the person in a subject where the person has a PhD. Now, these are some of the things that for me I have serious problems with. So when we hear these donor supports, we must be able to really scrutinize them and see what benefits the people directly. Yeah, so I have a lot of experience around the donor support. But anyway, it's up to government. Government has the right to say yes or no. But if they say yes, they must know what they're saying yes to. They say no, usually it's for a good cause that they know that is something that they can manage.
Another thing I want to add on is as Africa, we should stay away from the so-called grants and which come along with it doesn't really they put a value to it. For example, they will say, "Oh, we're giving you $200 million worth of help," and this when you look at this, the so-called that help worth $200 million, it is one. They have posted one guy in Chirundu from UK, and he stayed there with his wife and kids for 2 years. Working with the Chirundu City Council, Chirundu Council and all that. And then at the end of 1 year, they say, "We have helped you with $200 million." So some of these values they put to the so-called help or grants and stuff, it doesn't really, it's not really worth that amount. This is so exaggerated.
But
In my
do
view,
we need the grant? Do we need them?
we don't. But it's just that they
No. I think we need the grants. The grants are required, but it is on our teams that we must be given grants. If someone is not ready to work with a program that we've structured, then you can keep their grant. I remember one time I was dealing with a matter in child labor support with some of the donor financing, and they wanted to capacity build. I told them, no, you're not going to come and capacity build my labor officers when they've been inspecting for the last 10 years and you have no experience in labor inspections. Then you come here and say, oh, because of donor support, you want to do capacity building. Let's do a data center. That's what we require. We want a data center. We want monitoring mechanisms. This is what we want. If you're not ready to do that, please, you can as well take the money back to the person who wanted the capacity building. And from the rationale that we're given, they ended up doing what we said they should do. So at times they come, but they must be guided. They come and say, this is what we want to say. No, that's not our priority. That we can manage on our own. Our priority lies in the following areas, 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. And then, you move from there. So that is what I think would be done. So let's get grants. But if they're not ready to sit with us and say, oh, this is the way we're going to do it, we say, thank you very much. You can keep the grants.
Okay. Yeah. I think just to simplify it further, I can give an example of myself. I was given a grant, when I was in college, but the condition that was there is I shouldn't go beyond 75% on whatever I was studying, right? And and I should make sure that I'm in class and stuff like that. So they told me, these are your conditions. We're gonna give you a grant. This is what it is, and as long as you do that, boom, they give you a grant. But when it comes to economies in the world and economies and countries, that's different now. It becomes a little bit complex. a little bit complex because now you're dealing with national matters and national issues. And looking at
They normally come, a grant is like they use it as a carrot. They give you this side and then here they're getting more out of you. So they say, okay, we're giving you $2 million if you allow us to do this in your country. So there's always something they want to get out of you. It's not they are not coming here to help you progress. No, they want something more than that little grant they're giving you. So it's up to us to wake up and say, you know what, you want to give us this, but you want to mine our minerals for the next 10 years for free. That's what they normally do. So let's wake up and be. The problem also is corruption. Sometimes some of these things we can say we don't have to do that, but somebody under the table is given a brown envelope and he accepts. That's one thing about politics. Sometimes the politicians are too selfish to be nationalistic or to be patriotic. They will accept a bribe at the expense of the nation, even if something is not good.
That's a very, very good point, because most African countries now are waking up. They're saying that we actually don't even really need the United States if we had to hold hands. And you can imagine most of the Pan-Africans that started it. If you look at Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, they had that vision. Kenneth Kaunda, to say, look, if we're united as Africans, we actually and hold our own resources and control our own resources, then we don't have to go outside to. So what's the whole point? Like, look, you got gold, you got diamonds, right? But the people that are controlling the pricing and controlling the market of it are outside your own country. So that's a little bit confusing, because for most of the young people that are actually now coming up now, they are looking like to say, like, what was happening way before? Africa was almost, it's almost raped naked, like, really, because of just the way the minerals were being taken out without us knowing, like. So why do we have all these farmers, the white people settling in certain areas? There's even an airstrip. Why is that there? And it's been there for years and years and years, but we don't even understand why. And then they come to the community, they start, saying, oh, we're good, neighbors. They build a little school for you and stuff like that. They start giving food. But you're like, but why are they here? Okay. So what they're doing is what we don't know as Africans. But if we really now know exactly like what they're saying, like, let's map our country out and know where our minerals are, then we start targeting it and say, oh, wow. Okay. So that's why that family has been there for hundreds of years and have been making money for hundreds and hundreds of years in Zambia. And there's been a lot of white families that have been there for years and years, and we fail to understand, like, why how is it? I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
What
for me, hello. For me, I think there has been one word which I've been looking at and really digging deeper on it. We lack accountability. People are not accountable. Politicians are not accountable. Civil servants are not accountable. As a people, we are not accountable. Because the only difference that you're going to see with even where we are here and elsewhere is that people hold each other accountable for your actions. You are held accountable. There is no excuse. If you say you're going to do a road and you don't do it, you will be held accountable. If you tell people when this happens, I will do this, and you don't do it, you are held accountable. So accountability index in our society has really gone down. Just look at when you hear politicians promising during the elections. And this has nothing to do with whether be you PND, be it PF, be it Associates, and be anyone else. When they are promising, right now, look at the campaign that is be going on. And when they now come into office and they don't do it, are we going to hold them accountable? Are we going to protect them? You know, even when ourselves we say, okay, yes, the president gives you an appointment as a minister of whatever, health, for instance. Are you held accountable? Well, what happens when he holds you accountable? Then we run away from being accountable. So the accountability index is really bad. Look at what happens when you give someone money to do something for you. Back in Zambia, what happens? Half the time the money is gone. We have now run, no, if you want something done, bring the Chinese. No, bring the Zimbabweans. Why is it that ourselves are not, we are not accountable? We need to raise the accountability index really to a point whereby if you say something and you don't do it, you are held accountable. So for me, that is what I see would be a big mind change shift. It's a mind change shift that we need. And as soon as we start holding each other accountable for things that we say we do or things that we're supposed to do, it is going to change a lot of things. We will change a lot of things, even at just family level, community level, government yourselves. You have a performance management system, which is there. Who is being held accountable that you have an annual plan and it's not done? Do we dive down into the excuses of not having done it? And then no one holds any person accountable. If the police abuse their power, are they held accountable? If a soldier abuses his power, is he held accountable? Look at what has happened in England. They are able to hold a son of a queen accountable. And for us, we still just, talking and daring. So I think we need to raise our accountability index. For me, when we are able to raise accountability index, things are likely going to be very good for our country.
You've raised very important points, Bakazia. I think for the first time, I'm going to agree with you. Accountability is actually very, 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 very vital. Very vital. And if we had that accountability where, the problem is the governments before, especially the previous government, forgive me, but I'm going to blame it on them. They are the government that actually destroyed accountability. They are a government that didn't, respect accountability. They did things in a way where abantu kufika fekwa ukabagi hapa ukabagi hapa, and that meant that it destroyed people's minds, people's perception, perception of how you should acquire money. Abantu balekwa fitwali nefe amabagi shani shani. And then when this kind of government comes in and says, look, can we have a structured way of doing things? Wema miners, and stuff like that, and all these other places. Can you be, legalized miners, where pamepera my licenses, we teach you how to do these things. Class. Right now, there is one mine. It's actually teaching people. They've opened up a school to teach people how to, how to become a miner. And they even grants through the government where you can go, bakustana sponsor, you start learning. They're teaching us, how to do things. I think those are the, policies and implementations like in the Twatabo Kwanda Pali accountability. But all in all, I'm looking at the way things are, and the things are. I think this current government is more accountable than the previous. Dr. Danny, you've been
But
quiet.
I don't think that it's a question of comparisons, because we can still compare even now. It's not a question. Mopani, for instance, has been doing that for. They introduced their school rescue mission. Their safety school in Mopani is one of the best, I think, in Africa right now. And people come to train how to rescue people. When you go there, they simulate everything. They have a simulator which is like the state of art. They simulate how you do the dozers, everything. They've been doing that for years, maybe 10, 15 years. They've been doing that. And they've also been actually even tapping into the school leavers. But you see, the accountability is not on one that, previous government was not accountable. This one is very accountable. No, there are lapses even now that are seen. And move away from the government, go even at the individual level. It starts with there. Because if we do not hold it, I'm giving an example that if an MP comes to us to say, I'll work with the government and we shall put a road here, and these are the steps that I'm going to do, and then he doesn't do it, what do? We have to hold him accountable and get him out there. We check him out. We bring another person. If he misbehaves again, we take him out. Now, if it's a civil servant who is supposed to do something and he doesn't do it, he must be held accountable. If someone has been given money to deliver, CDF, you give people money for CDF to build a school, and they do a school which is supposed to be for 500,000, they do it for 2 million. They must be held accountable. So accountability index must not really take the political twist. It must be a way of life that we must be able to inculcate in ourselves. Of course, government must lead in terms of the accountability, but it is what we see happening. Why is it that the same things keep repeating themselves? Someone who steals drugs and he starts to giving excuses. We must hold that person accountable. Someone you have given a chance of an ukwa bag. If someone gets an ukwa bag and he's stolen it, you hold him accountable. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is you hold a wrong person accountable and leave the criminal. Then that becomes a problem. But for me, I'm saying let's be accountable and hold each other accountable without the political lens being inside. It should be a way of life for people. That is how I see it, Bachan.
That's very good. Dr. Danny, what's your take on this one? Dr. Danny, are you there? Oh, you're busy talking to Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
Okay.
It's like you're just monitoring my movements. Am I under satellite?
Yes, under satellite.
I'm just about 2 minutes away from home.
Okay.
I'm walking. So we can sit chat. We can do some intros, but I'll be off just for 15 minutes.
Yes, you can relax yourself and
okay. Awe malakumbwa akabwadi akavoa. Okay.
No problem. So, Dr. Dan.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Dan, you're quiet. Are you there or what? So, like what I said, we're talking about accountability. I think we lost it in the past years. That's why we have a certain mentality of the youth, where they're thinking like, to penny. You see what I'm saying? They don't have that sense of responsibility to say, look, if you're given a mountain or whatever, or even Kumufumbwe, people are crying, the youth are crying, right? And when they are crying, people will be asked questions to say, why are they crying? It's because the way things were run before was not methodical, you know. But now the current government is saying, before we start organizing or creating militias, let's nip it in the bud by creating a well-rounded system, a well-rounded program for these youth, so that they can be able to learn. Because the problem is they don't even want to do those things. Like I was talking to one of the beneficiaries of the that tragedy that happened, and then when they were giving that money, and most of the people, when they were telling them, like, look, people were going, the representatives say, guys, register your names. Okay, how many are you? Register your names. And then when the money comes in, we'll be able to distribute and give to you guys. Instead of you going there, do some other businesses while we try to figure out how well we can do this project. You know what they did? Some people didn't even go there. They were saying, and then when the money came in, people were shocked. Like, those people were registered, and people on the thing, they gave them the money, and people like, and then those people that didn't were refusing. Now they started going back now to say, you see what I'm saying? So, but the people, they told them, same thing that like the government is saying, register as a business entity so that the government can track your money. Because it's not small money that's coming out of those mines, those gold mines. It's not small money anyway. Okay? And they don't want you to be selling it to briefcase business people. Sell it to the government of Zambia. Okay? So that it's tracked. What you call it? Central bank. Okay? So, Bagazia.
Why?
Yeah, there? People are talking out.
No. Why done? Maybe got wishing about to change. But maybe it's nice. Eating about done. Tawakwata. But yeah. But you see, in terms of the mines, Jerabos and others, those have a very clear system. I think the government, the UPND government, had a very clear instruction on how they were going to deal with the issues of Jerabos. There was very clear instructions. One, you will formalize them, you give them the raise capital, they will be able to be treated better than how they were treated in the past. So everything like cooperatives were going to be done. That was way before even the election time. Now I think it has taken a little bit more time for you guys to come up with a clear system for the Jerabos. So I think I for one, I think I've spoken about it, and I said I didn't like the issue of using the military. If the police were failing, we should have changed the leadership of police so that we can have men and women in uniform that should be able to deal with the matter before we involve the military. The military should obviously come in if at the time that the police fail to control the crowd or the rioting, then the military goes in immediately to go and quash that, but not as a fifth line of public order. I didn't see that as necessary, and I think that created a bit of a problem. And also that we have not had a very clear guideline in terms of how the people that live in those communities are going to be the first line of beneficiaries. Because if you go to Mufumbwe, what is it that the community is saying, and what is it that government is doing? Is government doing what the community wants? Because ultimately, government does not run its own things. It runs what the people want, and it must be able to empower people that are nationals. People don't see that, then it creates a bit of a problem. I don't know how far those discussions have been, because you can create 1 million regulatory authorities. If people don't feel them or people don't appreciate them, it's always going to be a problem of conflict with the people. So it's something that should be dealt with. I think it has delayed, unnecessarily delayed. You know, after 4 or 5 years, we shouldn't be talking about the informalization of the mines. The government, I think.
Okay. Yeah. That being said, when it comes to the mines and everything else, I think people want to know one thing. Being in the opposition, people ask questions. There's soon going to be a convention, I think maybe next month or whatever, and people ask like, who's going to be for the Patriotic Front or Alliance or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
But what has that got to do with it? The government? Because unless government is accepting that we have failed, therefore we need to hear what the other people have.
No. I mean, this is a public discussion, and people want to know what's happening on the opposition side.
But the question is, are they first of all aware about what is happening on the government side?
Yes, they are.
What is happening on the government side?
Which area do you want me to talk? What are you talking about? What's the question?
We're talking about the mines here. When you say what is happening
on the mining sector, because I think we discussed that one. I think we satisfied our points on that one. Now on the mining sector,
if I can finish the question, because I don't think I've asked the question.
Go ahead.
What is government doing? What is the current state of things vis-a-vis what government promised to have dealt with 5 years ago? What have they done in fulfillment of what was promised 5 years ago? Then we move now to what the other people are going to come and discuss. And we raise questions for them that someone who is wanting to be president, this is where the current government was before they came into power, and these are the things that they say they do. This is how far they've done things, and this is the future plan for what is coming. Now, you that are going to come, what is it that you're going to do, which is different from what these guys are doing, what the government has planned, which will be better off, and then people can be able to weigh who is actually has a better plan in terms of the mining policy.
So you're asking about the current mining sector. That's what you're asking about, right? So right now, I think Zambia is surging to be one of the. In fact, it's going very, 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 very soon. It's going to overtake the Republic of Congo to be one of the largest producers of copper. Now, we've set targets, and those targets are not just numbers or words. Investors are coming in. Okay? And when the president moves all the time, he's been telling everybody, like, look, me, when I move for a purpose. I'm not moving to go and have a holiday. I'm moving for a purpose. So all these moves and all these travels that he's been having from Dubai and all that stuff, now you can see all the big companies, big corporations coming in the country as we speak. The mining sector is a surge as we speak. That's the reason why we're seeing, the Zambian dollar ratio, being where it is, because people are now investing in the country. They're bringing in the dollars. So when people bring in the dollars to open up mines, to revamp mines that were closed, mines that were unoperational, okay? Not you give a friend, if they are Bakazia, can you be a caretaker of, Rwansha mine, and then, Mwashi caretaker, And then, the small operations happening, mule sungin drama, mule vika mabagi. No. That's not fair for the Zambian people. The Zambian people want jobs. And opening up our mines in the mining sector, it has opened up a lot of, like, you can imagine, like, people were unemployed for the last 10 years. But because of this current government, abantu na besukalomba abantu bali anakumanchito na ama worksuit, yeah, people who make those worksuits, they're making business because people are buying those things. I'm a jumbo, I'm a boots and all that stuff. People who manufacture those things are now making, because there's a lot of people that are now going into these mines. One. And this wasn't happening in the last 10 years. So if you want to compare, if you want to know what's happening in the mine, this is a pure example. And the system, the way the system is working right now for us as Zambians, is that we want to make sure that he benefits. As long as you are a registered miner, as long as you are a supplier. I mean, look at how much in Congole back with it. It's all been paid. Look at how much money there was owed to the mines. It's all been paid. The president went to the mines and said, what do I do? What is that? They want to move out.
Before you go into that aspect, the aspect of the mines are not all into one. The problem that I've realized that when people speak about the mines, they forget that mines are not under one entity. They have different owners with different challenges and different investment systems. That is number one. And you see, again, we must be truthful when we discuss the mines. I have heard this aspect of saying, the mines were closed in the last 10 years. But then you ask the same, no, there was only one mine that was closed in the last 10 years. One. Other mines were operational. Other mines, the mines that are operational now, were closed 44 years ago, the one that you're talking about. Some of them were in court. I have been to each and every mine in Zambia myself. I have gone underground. I've seen what is there. Now, there is no country that can develop by offering jobs in Kwacha for the miners. We can't. We can never, ever develop. We need the ownership, majority shareholding in the mines. If we can have majority shareholdings, then I would start to think that yes, the mines, we are heading in the right direction. We talk about all the $15 billion. These are investors coming in. They don't come for charity. They come to make money and they leave. They have been duping us for years and they are still duping us. Even now, I can tell you for a fact. They come with tax breaks, tax incentives, so that they build all these mines. The moment they achieve the thresholds that they were there, they shift the goalposts. Look at what the Vendetta did. What did they say? They said they're going to do everything. They will be going to full production, $2 billion, which I talked about when we started investing it. Where is the $2 billion investment in Vendetta, in KCM? Where is it? It is not there.
Oh, no,
So
it wasn't there then, but it's there now.
It has not been there. What is it that it has done? Can you point to
They've employed abantu we can have a investment.
Employing people is a normal, is just part of the business. And in our nishinga baforesha amazambians yesu. Nishinga bapera ba miner. Our miners there right now.
Okay. From your last knowledge, how much is one miner making? Last time I'm checking. I don't think it's current, but last time you checked.
If you can listen, if you can listen, they are the better. Stop interjecting. I'm a miners vesu. they get less than $200 per month. Abama miners who are under the collective agreement. If they move, yes, you see the movement between $250 to $300. Chapwa. Everywhere else where these mines are coming from, Canada, where $3,000-4,000 per month. They come there and cheat us. When you tell them, give them $1,000, just $1,000 for the mine, the mine will still be productive. But I need miners, so I must go mutwe. If we're under you and me that are talking, we're not adding anything. To the the people are busy chewing on the Pamitweshama miners. But miners, that's when you appreciate it. They are given a raw deal. How do you explain? I've told you, but Masanga expatriates, 120. They get more money than 5,000 Zambians. If you go to Kansas, Zambians don't go there. To are realistic, and we start to speak. What don't go where? They've created Amazon Zoko vehicle beka. That is why we never learn. Because this thing. Because 30 days to the people, okay, ask people that are within the same government, UPND, ask Kanema, the one who is in Northwestern province. I don't want you to believe me. Ask your people that are there secluded places in Kansanshi where the whites stay alone. Nama elite Zambians, the ones that have been like managers, why are they said you go pass? I don't believe it. You don't believe it. You don't have to say you don't believe me, but ask. You see, it's not about you believing me because I'm a wrong source. So ask the right sources that I'm telling you. In the Lama before Shama Zambians, it is not consummate to the money that the mines are making. Shama Zambians.
So Kwaliva area of a vehicle, very Guatanama shop yabo.
If you want to Kumambo Kusashira, no, so I tell you what is there. Because if you start saying, oh, you are manufacturing what I've not said.
Tell me what exactly it is. Because this is something that is new.
We let in a 1964. If you go to Solwezi, Kukansash. Kwali woku karaba sungu nama gate yeko yaba tekuya fiti mpura fiti wale pitacho First Street na banani bali kwa ta secluded place. Ask them what is there. I don't know. I didn't want to go there and disadvantage narikena the tinde akoko. Me, I will not be part of the people that are going to go into
that. You did a disservice.
I am telling you, if you want to, don't believe me. Ask your friends, ask the people that you are there. Then you can come and say, but for now, I'm posing a challenge to you to find out what is there. Hello? When I move from there, I start to tell you about the conditions of a miner in Zambia. Avama investors aba there, but send me God. If you go me God, we don't own these mines. We are waiting for them to pay tax. Which if they pay, what do we take the tax? We take them to school, free education. We take them to medicines. We take them to social services. We take them to the sharp windaram. The dividends that are coming in, what dividends are we getting? After okay, bapanga profit of $1 billion. How much of the share profit are we getting out of that? We cannot be relying on ama salaries. Ona mingisha 15,000. Elonga mwasa wika pamwende rama chabo 15,000. Mwasangati ni $50 million per year. Abasungu balaba isana bena muleba for $40 million na bena per year. So these are some of the things that must be dealt with. I am not saying that, oh, no, what, no. This is a call upon the government. It's a government. Now, the problem that you guys have is that you think he's attacking you. Oh, no matter for today. It is not like that. I am a patriotic Zambian who is interested in saying, yes, this is what I saw, this is what I know. Now, instead of saying, okay, and this is what we are going to do about it, you want to start criticizing me.
Nobody's criticizing you.
I'm telling you. And this kind of talk. Let me tell you one thing. When they hear on a point we're supposed to be pulling into a direction, we're pulling separate. They love it because they know that now we cannot unite on this, and they keep stealing whilst we are talking.
Okay. Mr. Much government.
What did you guys do about it? You should not say Mr. Much. What did you do?
What did you do? Tell me what you did.
I'm going to tell you what was done, which I expected to continue. Number one was change of the law. Changing in the Employment Code Act number 2, 2019. That was the first major thing. Change the law to start making sure that we start having equal pay for equal work of equal value. We remove discrimination. We do this. These are practical steps. Change the productivity policy, occupational safety and health policy. These things were there, done. Number two, change the pension system so that you create different tiers of the pension system. These things were done. You understand? So when you say what we did something about it, and I'm expecting that once those were stepping stones, they were not the ultimate at all. I'm expecting that to Africa, Pali basic level, they pick up from there and make things even much better. Rather than finish watch today. Meanwhile, the documents are there. These reports of their documents are there. Ama reports it's just a matter of let a file on Mopani, you find these things there. You are going to find Mopani's projection of 2026 to be at 800,000 tons, and therefore they wanted expatriates, which they have not done. The reports are there in government. So if you find the Pofiava, if you 2 billion, they started lying about it, and that is what caused the liquidation. When it comes, instead of why did this happen? What do? We start attacking each other. Meanwhile, what does this guy do? He promises UPND the same 2 billion.
Okay.
Which
hold on. Mwami just joined us. Hold on.
Let's help government run things nicely. We should help government. It is our government. It is our country. But when we want to raise these things, do not demonize us.
Okay. Mkwai na temo kusangwa kuno. Bakazia, a very straightforward question. What would you thank UPND for so far? Mm-hmm. What would you say? Thank you. So far. Hello?
So are you introducing a new topic of conversation or now what you are thanking, what I should thank UPND? Because
okay, let's do this. Okay. Before you answer that one,
you say what are you?
No, before you answer that one, Mr. Abwambi, obviously we've been discussing so many topics, and Abwambi just joined us right now.
Yes,
and obviously, there are certain topics that he has missed that he needs to be abreast. So, we've been talking about first and foremost how our current government has been exercising its duty as far as Canadian governance. Okay, so starting from the first topic we discussed was rejecting $1 billion, and we want to show a character, and that character is saying like, look, ngachali pali But if I start reject 1 billion, Baba pay by US, Walanda, that pay 1 billion. Mama,
Okay, I'm hearing you.
so, yeah. You know, area, and then, of course, to Achanda, Nawa, and stuff like that. And then we're talking about in the mining sector, you know, the kids, right? You know, they're there, you know, and then they're telling them to go and get licenses before they continue mining.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I was saying, like, look, that's a good move because we don't have to start having militias. And then, according to Makazia, he's saying, oh, according to his information and his experience,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and stuff like that, he's saying, look, he's got a different view, a different point in terms of, you know, how this mining sector should be run.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, that's basically
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. You brought me to speed now. You've given me a good heads up. Mr. Kazia is we should respect his opinion. You know, Zambia, the way it is now, we are trying to look at how to do things in order. By talking about a license, you are saying that someone will be registered, they'll give their address, they'll give some articles of association, they will have a registered bank account, they'll be paying tax. Simply speaking, the business will be regulated once they have a tax. I mean, a license. They will be contributing to NAPSA. There will be occupational safety and hazard, something like that. They will be complying. It will raise the compliance levels, both for the owners of the mine and even the employers. You know, where there's no order, there's chaos, there's anarchy. And the anarchy in mining cannot go well just now. We have our big projections of, like what Chanda said, under Mopani, in some document that is signed, it was projected like they would have over 800,000 whatever metric tons. Now, those are only achievable if you have order. So if this government is trying to bring order in mining, I think let's give them credit because we are not the only ones that are going to leave now. Mining is a waste asset. When you dig out from the ground, you don't replace those minerals. So there has to be the sustainable part. And sustainability only comes through regulation. Regulation will even lead us to people paying correct taxes. They'll be making profits, yes, but those profits will be, how can I put it? They'll be, for lack of a better, monitored. There will be no externalization. Like if someone has a mining license in Zambia, they will be told how they should operate. Even when it comes to declaring, they will be told, say, no, you cannot be actually under site testing sample. You cannot be getting samples for 5 years, 10 years. You're just collecting samples. No Zambian would do that. So through the license, all those things will be taken care of. Then on the issue of Zambia rejecting the billions from the Americans, you see, I'm just not comfortable with what the Americans want the data for, the number of Zambians. Of what use is it to them? When you talk about data, are they just saying they want to know the number of pupils in school? Are they saying they want to know the number of pastors? Are they saying they want to know the number of politicians, the number of drivers? That data they are looking for it must be made clear. Is it maybe they're looking for the number of people that are dying of AIDS, that have TB? How many condoms can they supply? Can someone maybe make it clear? Maybe they mean well when they look for those numbers. It's the intention which we do not know. What are they going to use it for? Demographics, has got dividends. When there are many people in a country, there are a lot of, it's profitable. There's a lot of labor. Labor in the market is available. You have a market for goods and products. Now, when they talk about them wanting data, maybe can this audience help me? Maybe there are those of you that know what kind of data do they need? Is it about maybe the number of soldiers we have, the number of guns, AK-47? Let's share. I yield.
But Dr. Danny, you just joined us. Can you contribute on this one? What data are they looking for? Go ahead, Dr. Danny.
Oh, sorry. I was muted. It's medical data, but yeah. So when you hear, this is what Amos Chanda was saying. That's why I said Amos Chanda was on the point when he said that our government is very, very, we're not doing very well to communicate with the public. And it clearly shows. In this case, we're just talking about $2 billion. It's not $2 billion. It's not money. It's $2 billion worth of drugs. Okay? $2 billion worth of drugs. They give you those drugs to use in your health sector. But take data. Everyone taking that drug. What happens to him after 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? Is he dying after 2 days? Is he dying? Is he getting fat? That's what that loan was about. That loan was about, it wasn't cash. It was imiti. Nombe imiti, mtu amwakula pela, abantu nga mwamupela. You start monitoring him. So we're supposed to be guinea pigs of those drugs. $2 billion mumfako fieyo. So it's not at all this nechitumba chandarama $2 billion. Away. It was drugs. But those drugs monitor monitor them to for data, how they are doing. After 5 days, so communication. So the people on the street are saying, bali tuletere chisaka chandarama $2 billion twashikana. I heard someone on the street saying, it's not like that. We need to communicate better as a government.
I think we got. Hold on, everybody, hold on. We got our very own Oscar Mwanza has just joined us, and Mr. Mwanza, I don't know if you listen in the background.
Good afternoon. I like that one. That very old Oscar Mwanza. Am I that old? I'm only 63.
That young?
Only.
No, I was saying my older brother. You know when you got an older brother. This is my older brother.
How is everyone?
We are okay.
Sorry for joining late again. Other duties as assigned.
Of course, I mean you're always welcome anytime you want to come here, So
Sure.
we'll be discussing all these issues, and we've actually tapped on most important topics, and starting from of course our very own, like what we're talking about right now is we're talking about the inclusion of you know, somebody else, yeah, you know, the security issues. So I don't know. You obviously have heard of what we're talking about. What's the topic that you want to tackle?
Actually, when I joined in, someone was talking about the is it the package or the aid, the health?
Or the
Uh-huh.
aid, yeah.
Donation. I hope I didn't
Yeah.
interrupt the other speaker.
Okay.
But for me, I was just wondering. I mean, from day one, is why is the US so much interested in this uh, uh, donation or health package? The other areas, if they genuinely wanted to help, right? We still have the Lobeto, the energy, and other things. And people have been blaming Zambia for not, or the current government not accepting the package. But it's not only Zambia. Kenya, I think, at the point of signing, they backed out. Zambia, Namibia too. There was something also related to Namibia about health plan, and the president said, well, Namibia doesn't have people to begin with. To what about family planning, something like that. So yeah, so I wonder whether
Zimbabwe as well.
Mhm. Yeah, so I wonder what really, how genuine. The US has been known for experimenting on black people. You know, I'm not sure you guys know about the history of syphilis in the, probably I think it was in the 50s or something like that. You know, a lot of black people died. We're all still not sure about the AIDS thing, how it started, that kind of thing, COVID. Now, we already have too many young people just dropping dead every day. So I say kudos to the state for turning it down. Moreover, it did not come as cash. It's just medications, right? So it's not even like Olympia and the information that they want, what they want to track. Yeah.
Can I chip in?
You can smell a rat in the in the deal. Yeah.
What you're saying is actually what Dr. Daniel was saying. Actually, yeah, it's like almost the exact thing. And you know, for you know, the professionals out there, for us that we rely on people like you. This is something that's obviously worrying because it just on a lighter note, before we go into a different topic. You know, I was watching a certain comedy, and somebody was asking me to say, why is the Lion King? Obviously, everybody has have watched the Lion King, right?
Yes.
So why is it like when it reaches to the monkey, it has an African accent, but the lion have got an English or American accent?
Okay, power.
Have you heard about that one?
Power.
So if you watch the Lion King, everybody who's a lion, whatever, they speak in American, but only the monkey speaks the the Latin language of Africa.
You know, can I chip in there?
Let's not go there.
Yeah,
right now.
We are within. You know why I don't like a hyena? A hyena will just be following you behind, thinking that because you're walking, it thinks that amaboko yo yala sokoka kofe then chitole chitambukulya. It'll be walking slowly, thinking that they are just holding, maybe with glue, anytime yala pona. Americans should not think we are that way, surely. We are equally human. We want to survive in this world. Even the world is becoming a better place to live in. But now with those plans of theirs, where do they put Africans? Someone mentioned guinea pigs. Surely we are created in God's image. Won't say. No, they feel they are superhuman. What? I don't know. I'm lost for words. No,
Anyway,
this
okay.
God.
Let's not dive into that too much.
Mhm.
So, because obviously we have a different view that Lawrence has for us today. So we've been talking about the issue of the bit of course the health, the $1 billion that are rejected. Now let's progress. Can we now talk about freedom of expression versus national security? Because I think there's an alarming, or there's something that's going on in the social media that people that are handling these pages don't understand. They just doing it out of somebody just telling them do this, and then they do it. Maybe they pay the money, but they don't understand. Like, look, if you are targeting somebody like a head of state in Zambia, it's a different situation according to our own constitution and how it's really how it is. Okay? So you end up to be charged or end up in jail because you cannot depict certain images, certain things, certain posts that are not accurate. And if you're a page or a Facebook fan or whatever, and if you repost it yourself, again, the law will come to you. That's the law in Zambia. So, I'm trying to give people, an idea to say, look, don't do these things. Okay. And if you see something like that, and then you want to repost it, you're acting a crime. People don't know that. You're acting, you're participating in that crime. Okay. Chimoche na mwaya kuna nikane mwankoroba bank. I know I was just a driver. No. You drove those robbers to the bank. So for you to drive them, if you're participating.
Accomplice.
Chimoche na pa internet.
You are an accomplice.
So let's not amplify those things, but let's teach people. Let's teach people and tell them that we want to don't do these things. Okay? Because when the arms of the law come to you and knock on your door, it's not going to be a happy meal. It's not going to be a happy hour. It can be. So just restrain yourselves and do the right thing. I mean, why don't you just, with politics, why don't we discuss constructive politics? Let's argue on policies. Okay? Let's argue on policies. I don't know who gave them that idea to say, if you do this, then your page is going to be good. And then, yeah? Constructive politics. If you got something to say, come to us. Challenge us. We'll sit on a debate table and we'll go and address issues. Say, this is what I want, this is what I need, and this is what it is, this is what you're not doing. Then we'll come together and say, man, this is what we're doing. Why don't we have healthy conversations? Bet yari pop Zambia kanshi. I hear the case. I'm going to leave it to Mr. Lawrence. He's just doing.
Hello.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Yes. Can I chip in there? Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So talking about freedom of expression, see, to some extent, it's a right to express yourself, but every right has got limits and obligations and responsibilities. Just like I'll use Vachanda. Kai nangu Vachanda nari watemwa sana wakazia. See, Mr. Chandakazia, you have that hand of yours, eh? You're swinging it freely. It's your hand. You can swing it in any direction. But the moment it will touch my nose, problem starts. Mwali nkumya pamona. It's your hand. You're swinging it, but you touched my nose. Problem starts. Wali nchena. You know, ninkwatana kalondapa. You assaulted me. From simple swinging, you see, it comes to assault. Here is a guy depicting a head of state in a mortuary. Oh, in a coffin. What does that entail to people that are not able to discern between fake news and real news? All they know is someone can die. Oh, moneni bakateka na wafa. They start panicking, causing unnecessary panic, unnecessary tension. Even that kind of thing, I think they are still behind bars. They had an intention to do that. Now here is someone who just posts something of the president in a coffin, and he is free. He couldn't even on his own. I don't know if I'm to call that person, he has no manners, not even bad ones. How do you wish someone dead, let alone a head of state, a sitting president? Is that not treason? Because you are being paid money by one guy in the USA who is in the army, where it's common for Donald Trump to be even drawn. Now, I'm drawing on a diaper now. There they have progressed. I'm drawing on a diaper now. I'm drawing a dimbiale na parachute. It's nothing. But Zambia, maybe we have culture that comes in and just okay. For once, how does the mother to the president feel when she sees that? The mother, she's there. The wife is there. She sees that. What kind of, if they are to sue that guy, would they not include simple issues like you caused us mental anguish? You stressed us. You made us not to think properly. You disturbed our normal ways of life. We started panicking that the head of state is dead. That guy did the wrong thing. Whoever advised him, whoever did that to him or told him to do that, did not mean well. That is lack of patriotism.
Yeah.
I yield.
Anyway, that's a heartfelt. But of course, we got Lawrence and everybody else. Who wants to tackle this one? Who wants to go next? Of course, we know what the topic is about.
Hello? No one is coming. Freedom of expression. You see, even the Bible has allowed us to be free. He has given us. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I want to give you.
Hold
on.
Hello? Wamata, we want to give you as an example. I will give you as an example because you're the only one I can give this example to.
No problem. I don't mind.
Wamata. Umwana panganda ngatuka bane but chatiri chenu. Ero mwato time. Muleto tari yale tukana. Ero umwana w'abaneba Asa mutukana imwe bamata ati nimwe bamata chatiri chini. Mukafulwa? Are you going to sit?
No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. I shouldn't.
Omusarura ku Zambia. This level of disrespect that we are seeing is because we tolerate it.
Okay.
When it is happening to another person, we are very happy. When we complained, when we told you guys, if you are late to cover Edgar Lungu, our former president, is not right. What happened? Basoka ba SG tatulefaya abantu abali to former president. What happened? They continued. Akatumbi kashanyu kokutukana sana Edgar Lungu. Ba PF vale ilishanya. Vale nieba. Guys, this is not the way we should be doing things. I don't tolerate that kind of disrespect. The president needs a lot of respect.
Yes.
We must respect him. But the problem is that as we respect the president is a servant. He's not a boss, by the way. Because he is not above the law. We are the one that say, warabapo. So he's not over the citizens, no. But the office that he sits in, and even after he leaves office, must be respected. Umusarura has been going on. What do you guys do? They can you language which is not palatable, language which is demeaning, prophecy. And you see where we are, you know? Now, when they touch the president, no better what to remember.
Mute yourself for now. Mute yourself for now.
Banani?
Bakalinda.
Okay. All right. So, which means that when did this insect get inside the mango? When it is green but it is rotten inside. It means that insect went there when it was flowering. I have told you, and I have told this forum, we must detest disrespect in whatever form and to anybody. We do not need profanities. We do not need disrespect. It should not be because it's a president. It should not be because you are doing it towards another person who is old and senior, and even nobody deserves what that picture was depicting. Okay. Nobody deserves because death is secret. That it is like we are saying, Mamacha, it is something that can cause a lot of discomfort. And it indeed has caused a lot of discomfort. But when we building these things, bring the president, I want to circumcise him, you are quiet. Cricket because they're insulting the other person. We must detest and go after anyone who is disrespecting anybody. Yeah. I was listening to another guy, about Membe, about Karaba. They are demeaned, like they don't exist. They are not leaders. They are what? Look at what people would say about Mao Samba. Look at because they are upset about him doing whatever he's doing. We must detest bad language. We must detest that kind of thing. And look at where it has taken us. Now, someone who Aliku states influence and then someone is picked from there. I agree with everything you've said, Wamacha. I agree totally. But what I don't want to agree is the what should I say? Double standards. The double standards is what I don't like. We must go after each and every youth that is showing disrespect because we must stop it. It is not right. I looked at it, I said, no, even if I may not agree with the president, but this kind of depicting in this fashion, I don't tolerate it because I would never support that. So for me, this is a wake-up call. Let's work together to stop Whether it is within your party, UPND, where someone does that, you tell him, nah, we don't agree with how PF has done things, don't agree how socialists, but this level of disrespect, we are not going to be part of it. And it must come from the highest office in UPND and avoid calling Avanto to Lucifer. So that kind of language must not be done.
Understood, Vachanda, Vamashina. Of course, that's going to be dealt with the laws. There are laws, obviously. Zambia is not a banana republic. It's governed by laws. So obviously, things are going to be taking place. But in the meantime, we've been joined by Vakalinda, our very own lady. If you have something or one or two words to say.
Of course, I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say on this program today. Though I'm a little croaky, I just landed from the UK yesterday morning. But I have a lot to say. I know a lot of things happened. I saw the picture of that. You know, I don't even want to waste my time on that because I believe the other panelists have dealt with it. I would like to talk about the $1 billion loan or grant that has been what's the word I'm looking for? Mr. Manja, help me. What's the word I'm looking for here? That has been yeah, that has been rejected because these people want our gold, they want our copper, they want everything that they can find to their advantage. I just want to applaud the president for that move. I mean, that for me, that just, that just showed me where the man's heart is. At the end of it all, besides every disagreement that, though I support him, I mean, I haven't, I support him wholeheartedly, but there are things that he's done in the last 4 years that I am not for, but this one, to me, it's Quenyu.
Okay, so Vakalinda, before you go any further, this was going to go into the health sector. Does that change your opinion?
Absolutely not. Let's not sell our souls for a mere 1 billion, because it wasn't just 1 billion. We also had to come up with $347 million for us to get that 1 billion in 5 years. So remember, this president has been methodical. Remember that manufacturing pharmacy that's been opened up, that's making drugs in Zambia now? So I think he had a vision back then. I think that was 2 years ago when that drug making company was opened. It's in conjunction with the Indians and us. So we have a drug making company. So I'm pretty sure other countries like China will come in, will see this as a window of opportunity that they must take. We must not always, I'm an American. I even forgot. I'm an American, but at the end of it all, I'm not going to support our, government depriving us. Now, this is me talking as a Zambian. Depriving us of our natural, drugs, because they want our natural resources. That to me is a big no, and I'm pretty sure this government, I'm not going to compare it with other governments. They already have plans in how to get, the shortfall from the Americans.
Point of correction, Vakalinda, it hasn't been done yet.
What hasn't been done? What hasn't been done?
The manufacturing plant for drugs, it hasn't been done.
There is an Unichem is there's a company called Unichem. They'll come with a shortfall. I believe this government is on the right footing on this one. Nobody's going to change my mind. About. In fact, I'm going to bring in Bradley next week to talk about this because he is spokesperson for what is that, ZAMSA? I'm pretty sure they have already, they have contingent measures. In this, so I'm not worried. I'm happy about it, and I hope, because I've been hearing some whispers from the other camp saying, no, well, this is just they're juking the Zambian people because we are coming up to elections. I don't think so. So to me, Kwenyu. Who wants to rebuttal on my submission on the 1 billion rejection? I'm ready for it. Come on, people.
I'm sure Magazia.
Come on, Makazia. This is the one thing that you and I are going to agree with. It's for the goodness of the country. It's for the goodness of the country. Kwenyu. I leave it there.
Okay. All right. So the other thing we're talking about, because you're a journalist, professional journalist, is the freedom of expression. Have the freedom of expression gone across the board? Of course, we've got national unity and national security, and according to our own laws that we have in Zambia, you can only, provide certain information to a certain extent, right? As much as we appreciate, the freedom of expression, people now are abusing it because, people are not being checked, but the laws are there to protect, one, the government and the presidency. Okay, so that's where we are right now.
Chilufia. I mean, this freedom of expression. I mean, I love that the Zambians can go out there and express themselves on a lot of issues that they feel afflicted with. There is nothing wrong with you writing an article on a subject or in a topic that affects you, as long as you have the facts. But when you just wake up one morning and say, okay, let me go ahead and copy State House logo, and then just go haywire and produce a statement, apparently signed by the State House spokesperson, the presidential spokesperson. Come on, people. Well, I mean that's fraud to begin with. And then let's also remember, when we talk about freedom of expression, where my freedom of expression starts and ends. I have to be accountable for the other person's freedom of expression as well. So if my freedom of expression starts at A and ends at B, let me not cross over to D, because somebody else's freedom of expression starts from C and ends at D. So we have to be accountable for the words that we are using. I mean, I look at all these things. I know Makazia would not agree with me, but I think these are legacy issue that started with the PF. You know how they were insulting people. Some of us we are also part of the caught up in the misfire. So this is a legacy issue. They'll take time to correct themselves. But now that people are being arrested, I think people are going to wake up and say, okay, you know what? This is not right. I have to be accountable for what I say. So on that part, I think as a journalist, as a media in Zambia, I think we've also, you let go of the will, because you cannot publish something or quote somebody who is telling lies, and then when they come after you, you say freedom of expression because you have not verified your facts. So that's for the media. Basically, that's where I have issues with, because I think we have gone laissez-faire. We don't. I mean, when I was an investigative reporter for the Times of Zambia, before I have anything published, I have to verify my facts. As long as those facts are solid, I can go ahead and publish. But I can't just wake up one morning and say, no, I saw Baba Chilufia with a white woman at a beach. When actually I was at home working, and then I published that,
which is most likely.
Yeah. So I wasn't there. So then you come after me and sue. I shouldn't then say it's freedom of expression. Chakuti.
I don't understand. That one, it was a correct. No, that was a correct. Correct information.
No, fear. We have to verify. If somebody saw you with a girl at a beach, do they have a picture? I mean, these days, phone. Do you have a video? Back up what you're writing. You can't just wake up and walemba no claimba. No, it's freedom of expression. You know what? I'm going to even cite the president's own words. You're on your own if the law comes after you. Even I would say, pick them up. That's Victor. Pick them up. That's why I'm happy with them picking that guy who published that photo of the president in a coffin. Do you know what kind of? I know they're trying to cause anarchy, but who does that? Who does that when we know the president is always on Facebook? I mean, he's telling us where he is. He's showing videos, meeting, and then why say about social media? No matter it's freedom of expression. Let's do the right thing. It's time. It's time.
No, he has been arrested because of the tribe.
Okay. Well, Marsha, before you come in, we need to give other people for them to express themselves. Of course, we got Vamwanza. And
Okay, I was listening. The freedom of expression, freedom of speech, I think is being abused. Like Lady Kalinda said, it's something that may have started in the previous regime. I'm not saying it was right. It wasn't right. And then we also kind of caught into it, right? But I also disagree to say maybe they not true double standards, but a little bit of it, because even, for example, when the one actually I know for sure is that gentleman Kuba, the comedian who referred to and the beacon to Edgar Lungu as Akatumbi. He was sanctioned, he was condemned, so he never, I don't think he repeated, and Tukuta, I think, also had said something. So there's been a little bit of that. There's been that sanctioning of people who are disrespecting Lungu, Mr. Lungu. But again, sometimes some of these insults or abuse of freedom of expression, they are not something probably somebody can actually be prosecuted for, but some of it, I think it has to, so it's wrong whether it's from the other side or from the UPND. There's so much, even here, guys. I don't know about the US, but I follow the US politics a lot, even in Canada. You don't just go around just insulting the prime minister, drawing what. You don't do that, because why? There's the legal consequences if you do that, if you can't prove otherwise. So even here, there is the consequences if you abuse the freedom of expression, freedom of association, or freedom of movement, We have this crazy young man at Inchwala ceremony wearing a G-string. There's nothing wrong with that. He could have worn the traditional bechu, but his thing is actually out. So there are kids there. It is arrested for abusing freedom of.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's how it is. I mean, it's always been like that every year. Like,
yeah, but this time it was literally out, right? Like so. But there are people with kids there, so if it's sanctions, that's what I'm talking about, the abuse, right? So we are taking the two extremes, and to me, my disappointment too is that the opposition. There's a lot of issues they could attack UPND on. Like what they are choosing, honestly, I'm thinking, don't you have topics? I can give you 5. Yeah.
Yes. I think what they need to do, if they want, they should pay us $1 million so that we tell them.
They
don't have an idea.
Yeah,
They don't have an idea. They don't have an idea.
Yes,
But
yeah. This is why now.
But
That's why now they're always he's sick or he's dying, is what, because and you're just proving yourself to be a liar all the time. There are other things they can talk about than abusing this freedom of expression and this NDC guy, like, of all people, right? So I submit.
And talking about that, the NDC person, like it's been analyzed that Odia Muntu is I'm sure like NDC can share what factions. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Even NDC has got factions. So there's a faction for I believe Shibagambui, and a faction for whatever her name is, the lady. And another guy that was there talking on TV saying that we don't know this person is not our member. I'm like, that's why one of my factions when this. I'm like, and Vakambwili made a mistake. He made a big blunder. He had NDC in his hand. At this time, it could have been one of the most progressing political parties. But because Vakambwili loves money, he decided to go back to PF. PF, a party that he said that I can never go back. But because he was straight with money and everything, they gave him, and then he came back to PF. Bomba. Bashukuru paisa mu PF. And then batambo kulunga na batambo kubeba fya kutana fya kulanda. Start going back and forth in all these radio programs, talking about. I don't, that's the thing that I have to warn the Zambian people. Mwewe na Zambia, if there's a change in the government, we later PF, Mukalila away. I'm telling you the truth, because the PF has got nothing good for you. Just look at what they did. Just look at what they did. The PF have been a bad party. This has been a very destructive party during the okay. PF was only PF when it was Microsoft. That's the PF I want to buy here. After that, it was a different PF. And I can tell you for a fact, me, Naripa inauguration of Vachiruva, High Court there, I was there. As a young kid, I walked from my home, I was watching there when he inaugurated him. So if man can like this, all these other guys, MMDS Ayalubana, then there was PF with Michael Sata. That one I accepted. But after Michael Sata, I don't accept it, because they do not represent anything that's good for the Zambian people. They don't. Tabakwete. Finish mwana tupera. Finish mwana tuera. Tabakwete. Bana nikale bakazia. Landeni.
Bamunyina ne bakazia landeni. Bamunyina ne bakazia.
Bamunyina ne bamasha. You see, we have problems when we take this. Oh, anyway, I also understand that you are promoting the UPND party in terms of how we are conversating. Yeah, that is actually the main thrust. But certain things are not just right, you know. And at times, Mwachita focus so much about what the PF is going through, what the NDC is going through, but you forget about what you are going through. Why were the ministers fired? What about their butane? What happened? Bu7, did they vote?
He pressed the wrong button.
So that is why I speak. So you know, but the political side of things, that's why, you know, when you take that route, I would rather be quiet, because this is your platform. You are meant to promote yourselves and make feel good about it, because anyone who comes to tell you what you don't want to hear, it becomes a problem. You see, there is so much of the things that have been done wrong, so much of them, and which should be a basis for what you should be telling Zambians and how you're going to correct them, which I think would be slightly more beneficial than to talk about what Shimbaka Mbwiri, he moved from this part. Those are his democratic rights. He can move wherever he wants to do. He was actually a member at one point in time. You know, he was a UPND member. Very, very strong UPND member, and he was a darling at that point.
Not very strong. Remove very strong.
You are the one who to remove it, but I'm not removing it. That is my opinion, you know. So if you think it was not very strong, it's okay for you. But me, this is my submission. Please don't dictate how I should submit, Bachanda. I thought that this is you see, dictate how a person should submit. In Ndeland that member which is a fact. Whether he was strong or was weak, that is up to you to say. But that is what is in public domain, because that's a fact. And then he moved on. And again, you see, he has also contributed to the democratic process of the country. You know, and it is his right to do what he's doing. You know, whether people trust him or not. And then to say, oh, Zambians will make a mistake. All governments do that. To tell Zambia, say you make a mistake. Yeah, let them make a mistake, because it's a democratic right to choose whoever they want. There's nothing like a mistake. A democracy. And you have to understand that every time you change government, the learning curve starts. I told you about it, Mwarekan. You see, it will take some time for the president to know exactly how these systems run and who to trust, who not to trust. In 5 years, no, it just takes 7 months. Some of you colleagues here, no, 8 months finish. But this is showing. Even to feel like if you feel like the president you are right, you understand the policy, you nikada, you bam kumenye pa street, asend ama shares, ali ni casual worker, number owns mines. Uyu ali mwakuti ichachitika ni fyakuti. Uyu ali pa street nomba mu government ni ba PS. Ba PS mwilafu ala kadi political regard muri mu office ati awe ne okada number 1. So these are things that were there. And you see, we must be able to say the learning caves, you must be able to speak to these things. What lessons have you learned by not getting cadres to be civil servants? What lessons have we done where someone opened the in the platform in a cadre number 1? A permanent secretary has to attack opposition leaders. Where? You know, if a PS does that, there is a problem. If you see a cadre who was a casual worker all of a sudden owns a mine, then others are being arrested. Accountability. That is what I talked about, accountability. When people make mistakes, they must be held accountable. And regardless of who makes it, And certain things, if the Zambians think that UPND has to be held accountable, they will remove UPND. If they think that UPND must continue, it will continue. And after that, once it will let's support who wins. If the President HH wins, we say, okay, congratulations, democracy has spoken. And let's see how join NC. I don't need to join. I don't need to join. I just need to be what I am. This
You
time,
vote. You will vote, not joining. You are going to vote. It's right. He can vote what he wants, how he wants.
Praise singer. In a team, praise singer. You understand? I've never been one. Ngana firubana kula and that if na firubana. Imwapa, your role is to defend. Nangunalanda tichina chirubana ali bepo fyapa. Imo mufile mwaka.
Okay. We're agreeing with. I told you certain things. I agree with what you're saying.
Right? If you agree with what I'm saying,
okay, you have not. Here's the thing, Rakazia. Hold on.
Can I finish, please? When you come in.
Hold your horses.
You don't want me to finish when you come in.
Hold your horses.
Do you want me to finish?
No. But listen to this. You have not told us things to say at it.
But you want me to stop my submission to start answering what you're saying, or I should finish my submission, then you ask me on what I've submitted, so that I am able to explain. Now,
we shared that even 2 hours. Must have explained.
2 hours by your interjections. You should keep quiet about moderator.
Give us a point. Not if you like that.
I shouldn't be quarreling with you about moderator.
No, give us a point, Ivane.
I'm trying to do that, and you are busy coming in.
Go ahead.
I have told you exactly what I think about it. I say, on this my last concluding remarks is that I said, you must be able to oppose even what makes sense, because it's coming from the other side. Disowned. You be disowned. Me, I don't need to be disowned by anyone. I will simply tell you what I think about something, and tell you from my experience, this is what I think, this is what I think. And I'll stick like that. And that's why I'm telling you, on the elections, the Zambians make the decisions. You can't say Mkapanga mistake. If they make mistakes, they live with the consequences of the mistakes. If 2026 President HH wins, he has won his president. And president, if you want Bengatabale, Mufu, so we must be able to work with that. And when he wins, we must support him to achieve in the right way. But doesn't mean that I have to be a cadre or join UPND to be progressive and work with the government, or to say what the government has done is sensible. I don't need to be a cadre. I just need to be a patriotic Zambian. Period.
Okay. Fantastic. Vakalinda, the first lady.
Let's just have a wonderful, constructive conversation, we give each other space and everything else. But talking about that PF, because we have to talk about it, because they are the ones that we are seeing as the alternative government, right? They have the largest membership in parliament. They have the largest number. So we need to talk about them. Why shouldn't we? Our wonderful acting president of the PF, whatever faction it belongs to, it's I got you. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. So we were supposed to have a convention this week, right? What happened to that conversation? The convention. You have Chavinga, who says, I have got the Lugwalo. He says, no, I'm even not standing for for member of parliament. I'm just going to endorse the UPND. All that confusion. What's going on? There's another new party that has just been announced, I think yesterday, by Abenan and Akashambatwa and his group. What is going on? Somebody, it's not making sense to me. I mean, we are 8 months before the elections. Vane, let's be serious with what we are doing. Umumuni Tonse, we don't know who is who. I mean, what's going on there? Somebody better explain it to me because I'm just confused every day. I don't know what's going on. I was hoping this, they're going to have a convention and, things will go. All these polls that we were seeing by social media, engineered by Uyumwamba Wabutukamaga cases to Zambia, and I'm pretty sure I need to find where he is because I'm going to report him. Kuriba Nani, Kuriba ISIS. You tell him. I'll report him to ISIS personally as an American citizen because he's hiding from cases that he committed to Zambia. So somebody tell me what's going on. Who wants to come in? Mr. Maja, come in. All of Mwanza, please, Mr. Mwanza, you've been too quiet. Tell me what's going on with PF as the alternative government, because where we are, they are supposed to be telling us what their policies on the economy is, what their policy on mining, agriculture. They're not telling us, nobody can vote us. Mr. Mwanza, please help me out here. I'm confused.
Hello, can I come in? PF as a party has not just disappointed you, it has disappointed many Zambians in the way they have conducted themselves. First of all, they have disintegrated, and after disintegrated, they have broken down. After breaking down, they are now dissolving. There's nothing good about them anymore. Unity is a sign of strength. They are not united. And if they are not united, how do they convince Zambians? What kind of manifesto can they give? Zambians right now want peace, but they are not just anywhere close to that. They are not, we are looking for leadership. Leadership cannot be built at the 11th hour. No. We need leadership that is tested, leadership that has stood some test of time. But here is your PF and the way they are behaving. Who would vote for? In what form? How are they presenting themselves to the electorate? You see, they need to have a proven track record that they're able to govern the country. But the track record that they have shown so far is that of looters, that of stealing. When are they going to make amends of all the wrong things? Kamugodi, bad cadarism. How long? They certainly need time to make this. They need time to go for confessions, but they are not even available to the Zambians. Say, no, we are sorry. No one is even saying that. Just months before elections, PF, for lack of a better word, is not available to be on the. It's immoral for them to be on the ballot paper. In fact, there should just be a law that says like a political party that is supposed to participate in a presidential and general election should not be formed 2 months or 3 months before the election. Too much democracy also is not good. 3 months, 4 months, political party is formed, registered, then they participate in an election. There should be a track record of that party having done some. How many conventions? PF they are pathetically. I don't know. It's everything about PF for me now is pathetic. I yield.
Oh my God, that's a brilliant thing. But Oscar Mwanza, I think we need to give people that have that caliber to explain some of these issues. But Mwanza.
Hello?
Hello? Mr. Mwanza, are you there? Okay. Mr. Panza, if you're not there, then obviously we go to Lawrence. Oh, I don't think Lawrence is here. Well, Lawrence, are you there?
That's under.
Yeah.
The thing, you see, this is the same language which for me I condemn. You know, imagine someone says everything about UPND is pathetic. You know, political parties exist for a reason. whether they are pathetic, they are not pathetic, and all that. And this language, is language to live on a platform like this, where we are supposed to be very civil in the way we conversate. And then we can't, because today the engineer, pathetic, rubbish, useless. You see, when we use these terminologies, we are using these terminologies. If today, but a lot, including young children listening to us, telling each other how pathetic, how useless. You know, we can't be behaving like Abantu mark others per street. If we to some level of civility and level of shine, what to the extent disagree, we agree on fundamentals. Don't go on for language. What
language are not happy about?
You can't be telling at all these are useless. What did Wamasha say?
I said pathetic.
Pathetic. Do you think that is a good way to use?
Something that does not please me is pathetic.
Do you think? Do you think it is
that's British language?
Okay, if a child or someone my wife, UPND is pathetic. Is that okay?
It doesn't please me.
No, but the question that it doesn't please you because it's not just right. It's not the right language for you.
But the thing is that do they understand the word pathetic?
But in behavior, every time something is wrong, we rush to justify it. Okay. You see, it has been a problem in our country. We say no. Even in Parliament, they say we withdraw that way to replace it with something else.
It's parliamentary.
All right. Okay. So what we do is let's invite Oscar Mwanza to tell us what we're going to do. But Oscar Mwanza.
Yeah, so I've been kind of internet problems again when I move around. But are we still on the PF?
Yeah, we are there. They're nothing anyway. But
okay. Yeah. So I know usually people say we should move on. We should not talk about PF. But you see, PF is the largest opposition. Even with the demise of Edgar Lungu. Even if he lost, he still has a sizable following. I mean, that I always say that 1.8 million, maybe now it's 1.2, maybe it's 2 million, we don't know. So you can't have the largest opposition that is not selling anything to Zambians. This idea that everybody can be a president is very, very dangerous. That's why in DRC, they ended up with the Tshisekedi. With no MPs, no what, it took him a year to even get a prime minister. Because we think we can just be by chance Zambians prying on the voters' ignorance and become president. You know, like Magalinda said, what is their manifesto? What are they trying to say? What they were just attack this and that, or the food program is bad, but they don't even say how they're going to improve it. You know, they're going to do this.
They're going to scrap everything out. They're going to scrap. I'm telling you, they're going to scrap everything out.
Yeah. They won't even say how they're going to generate more revenue, create jobs, sustain the momentum, blah, blah, blah. No. Like I said, they have topics. They are what they're saying to the Zambian really is even on the cost of living. They can just stick on that one. You know, it is, and you produce facts. If you see jobs, they think the jobs there's still a lot of unemployed youth. You can stick on that. Not if you're a coffee, Nifi, and that's the largest opposition, and they don't even have a convention, and they're all over the place. Who is kicking Atimundubire has 9 running mates right now. I was reading something. yeah, so I wish they can do a convention, because even for HH or for UPND, it's good to win a good race. Yeah, it's good to win a good race than when there's total confusion and you are the only winner. It doesn't even look good, even for you as the winner.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna close the program, guys. We've gone for a long time. I think I appreciate everybody's participation today, and I think we gotta start with everybody putting out their last thoughts, last comments. Obviously, let's do it this way. Why don't we start with Vanani Kaneva, Vatandagazia. Let's start with you. Be the person, and you obviously want to say something. Say it, in your last terms, so that everybody else can come in and stuff like that.
I would rather go last, Vachanda. Before you summarize, you are the last one. I want to hear what other people say so that I can summarize my comments around that.
Vakalinda. Madam Kalinda, are you there? Okay, she's not there. So obviously it's just me, you, and okay, Mr. Mwanza, what are your last remarks?
I finally had a chance to listen to the State of the Union. Man, yes. It was shorter than the previous ones, but you sit there. I don't care what you say. We have a president. It makes me feel happy. Like I said, the opposition can pick on things from there that they can hammer the government and UPND going to an election than what they are doing. That's my thoughts.
Mr. Hamwami.
Someone can go. That's one thing I'm doing.
Oh, okay. All right. So with me, my last submission is this. Looking at all overall, policies and interjections of what the current government is doing. I think we stand at a very important point in life where people, even the young people, can say like, we have a president sitting in State House. Okay, so the reason I'm saying is this: one, people have gone back to school, and we're looking at a record high of 200,000 students that have gone back to school. Okay, in fact, we're just talking about the people that are getting, all these skills and all that stuff. Back in the day, to get a skill, you had to be registered to a school and stuff like that. And our parents, there was no money. But if the government is saying like, look, we are going to provide free to go and learn something, I'll be running, to be honest. You're going to learn carpentry, you can learn all these other skills, and these are skills that are needed in building the nation. And I've always said one thing: Italy, the way it is, and all these beautiful places that we go and watch, it wasn't built in a day. Okay, it only took for a word of one president, one king, and said, like, can we actually do this? And people started coming up. people started coming up with painting, started coming with ideas and how we're gonna build it. Italy is one of the hardest hit when it comes to earthquakes. But all the old buildings, they still stand up today. Why? Because the ingenuity that was done that time, well, it came from the heart of the people. So if something is coming from the heart, no matter how hard, the opposition will come to say, oh, wait, opposition. The opposition will always lose because that prediction or that thing, So, like I'm saying, like, look, like any man too, I'm a students, give them and let them, and in my college, tell me I can only say one thing. I want to invite every other Zambian who's really, 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 just for the point of, creating a better environment for the Zambian people. Please, I'm appealing to you. Can anybody, Zambia, create or provide a solution for drainage system? And I'm going to be saying this every week, every time we come here. Can one person, just one student, even just one student, I want a Zambian person, a Zambian engineering student that's going to come up with a solution or sustaining or creating a proper drainage system in the CBD. Please, I want somebody to come from school to come and tell me. And then if his ideas are not good, then I'll say, but please come up, bring those ideas. I thank you.
I'm back now. Currently speaking, we have to be very just fair to ourselves. There's no way we can undo what UPND has done. There to stop the computer and do. Remember, there's that undo mpaka cha hesabu ya kuja cha chapa first. For now, we cannot do that. So far, so good. He has made his own mistakes. Some of them we don't know. That much we should be aware. Some of the mistakes he has made, we don't know. We shall know them maybe when he's out of office. Then for the PF, like someone said, they need to give us hope. They make me feel bad that I'll have no choice. They are leaving me with a choiceless choice because they've been in government before. I expected them to come up with maybe second best figure, so not where they even fail to okay, I'm not inspired. Can PF inspire me, please? Bachanda, tell PF to inspire me, please. From Andy, we are all small. Zambia.
What do you want PF to inspire you?
To inspire me with good leadership, so that I can have maybe I can choose. Hakainde has done a lot of good things. Let's try. Maybe they have better people now.
Listening to you guys talk is very encouraging. You know, it's like a sheep wants to know how to hide, and then it goes to ask a lion. This is what you guys do. Can really someone sit down and say, even let's advise PF, you.
We want you to be good so that
So
you
you are
can
so
have choice.
no. Guys, sorry. You are
Okay.
so biased in your. You see, imwe tamulevika from your mulefwaya, efo mulefwaya ukumona efo fichitike. There's no political party that works on that platform. Takwaba. Imwe you work on your platform in terms of making things, even successes that you've done, much better. When you start to think about what has been done.
Okay, closing remarks.
Max, yes. When you hear Mwanza is right. Eh? When he says we have a president and you have a speech, the only problem I have with my president is that if you're Rwanda and if you're Chitafila Pusana, he is you pick the inauguration speech. You pick it and read it. You pick it or play it and listen, sit down. If you're somebody like that, you listen to that speech, it inspires you, it gives you hope.
Anyway,
don't stop disturbing me. No? So what I'm saying is, we can't be where we are at. Manipulation, information. Information. You have too many spokespeople. Wasanga lero youth chairman balelanda. The other day, can you also inspire us by making it proper information systems that are going here?
That's my man.
The panty akwati uri onsalanda unasangana grade 4 lepera press statement about the UPND. Why did you
in short, politicians should inspire us. They should inspire voters.
It's not about the boys. You see, we can't focus. Ngamambo kula bika focus, but PF mwebi fabalachi. Imoja mnande femunechita.
I think we have already done that. We cannot go back. Okay. Okay, hold on.
Let me finish. Okay, last statement.
I thought you said you finished.
Last statement. Mwaba butusha ku Zambia mwasabika kuno ku Canada. Elo mwasenda abana baba nenu bado. Mwayalonga muza. 100. Mwasenda mwaya balonga mwala toti abenu tabalimu. Babikeni mona tubamone mulya.
Twatotera bwenfumu.
Twatotera wa mnyinane.
So last obviously these are the last program. We've been discussing this for a long time. So in any case, ngatamukumene ngakuri chintu ichere kumukochi.
WhatsApp. What now?
Mweze kwa WhatsApp.
Na hapa WhatsApp twalatamba nombalini hapa.
No, so gachi nacho kumukoshi. Nacho pina. But anyway, thank you very much. We appreciate your participation, and of course, this is the Redtagmedia. Tulalanderia Syria vena Zambia. Taturefuayo omuntu lionze kutubepa kuno ku diaspora. Awe yo twalikana. Turefuayo abantu bonse abaleisa kuno na wakwata na facts. And then we fact check.
Okay.
And at the same time, we invite abantu. Now, a different opinion. We're not scared. UPND, we're not scared. UPND tatuseka ifwe. Tatuseka chimbuya.
Amen. Adios. Adios.
Good evening and good night.
Good evening, Wachanda. Thank you so very much, and see you next week.
Okay, thanks.